Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, this is Bruce Marshall from Simpler Trading with the nightly market update for Wednesday, December the 30th. We have almost reached the end of the year, have one more trading day left in the year, and then we will start it all over again. So, hope everyone has had a great trading year. It's been fantastic here in at Simpler and specifically for me and Bias, the Bias service I run. We've had an amazing year. Lots of volatility. We've used that to our advantage, and I think that is the key. That was the key this year in 2020. It will be the key again in 2021 because I don't think the volatility is going away anytime soon. So let's jump in here real quick and we'll look at the S&P. This is the ES. I'll start with the futures, the ES here. And as you can see last night, this white line is, if you have seen any of the videos I've done, I use these voodoo lines a lot. This is a snow line, this white line. We chopped all over it last night, came in today, came down, touched it 3 times, and ended up with just kind of a blah day. The yes ended up being up I think 3.75 or something. So very, very calm, tame day. Let me put this back on the SPX for the cash session, and you can see we just kind of chopped, all day long. Just kind of chopped lower, lower, lower. Not a lot going on. Vols actually were going down a little bit today, and then we had this little I don't know what was going on here until the end of the day, but that sets us up for the big grand finale tomorrow. We do have a full trading day tomorrow. I'm really not expecting much. We probably, I don't know. It's I try to base what I'm looking for on past experience, and I've been trading professionally for 32 years. And it varies wildly, and it depends. Especially this year, will depend on news. If we get any kind of vaccine or COVID news or political news or whatever. So, under normal circumstances, I would assume that we probably go out on a high in the S&P tomorrow. Let's look here. To give you a point of reference here. I see that 37.56. That was the high on Tuesday, and right there, 37.56. So it wouldn't surprise me if we, 37.50 is going to be a big magnet, or even take that out and go into that skyline, that line right up there, perhaps. But we may also get a big chop day and not really go anywhere and kind of drift up here to 37.50. That would kind of, I would assume that we would not have a lot of action one way or the other. Now, it will be light volume, but that doesn't mean we can't move around a lot. And then we just continue again next week and move on into all of the next year and all the next hurdles that we have coming up. We've got the Georgia elections coming up January the 5th, I believe, and that could be a volatility event one way or the other. I have no idea which way that's going to go. And then we'll continue to have COVID news. The new strains are coming into the United States now, and they spread faster and that type thing. So, lockdowns or no lockdowns, how's that going to affect everything? Then going into end of January, we have earnings coming up. So we'll have all the rounds of Apple, Google, Amazon, Facebook, Tesla, all that kind of stuff, back again, coming up to the, front of our trading radar. End of January, 1st of February kind of time frame. So it should be 2021 should be a nonstop, nonstop trading event, kind of like 2020 has been for us. But again, we want to put that volatility on our side and use that to our benefit, like we've been able to do this year. And again, it's worked out, extremely well this year. Let me switch this over and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And if we look at just simple moving averages here, and let me take the squeeze down. Right here, this is our big spike in volatility when the COVID, happened here. We came down, big spike in vols, and we came down, but we're hanging out around there's 20, there's 30, there's 40, so we have been kind of hanging around in this area for most of the year, which is pretty elevated based on where historically we have been. This is a good thing. I've been using a lot of calendars, diagonals, double calendars, double diagonals, things like that to extract the theta out of some of these trades. Been using some butterflies, and you would think we would be able to use a lot of iron condors because the vols were up, and we would, but there's been so much wild volatility, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth this way. It makes it kind of a little trickier than normal. Big gaps, up and down. This kind of stuff makes it pretty tricky. So even though the vols are elevated that way, I have not used iron condors as much this year. Used a lot of credit spreads, but again, the primary vehicles have been calendars and diagonals. So we'll look to continue this on into next year as we go, and we take it, day by day, week by week, event by event. We'll watch the Fed, see what's going on there, and of course all the political things that are going to be coming up here in the very near future. So it's exciting. It's very exciting. Had a great year this year. Looking forward to a great year next year. Again, when we end tomorrow's session, basically, we flip the lights off and walk out the door, shut down the computers, flip the lights off, and then Monday morning we flip them back on. As far as the market goes, outside of news, it'll be just kind of a continuation of what we got right now. News can throw a monkey wrench in everything pretty quickly, but I don't see any reason yet to think anything, extremely wild is going to happen, again, outside of a news event. And so I'm just going to anticipate we're going to keep kind of doing what we're doing. Let me show you one thing real quick on the voodoo lines. One thing I am looking for here, if we do continue, and here's the big if. You see the red line up there? This is a fire line, 38.76. Do we come up there? Or do we come back down to some of these lower levels first? Possibly down here before then ultimately coming back up here. And of course, I have no idea. We'll have a better idea as soon as we figure out what's going on right here. Do we come back to this snow line and bounce? Or does this fail and we start going this way? If we come down to this or we break through it and start to fail, that could set us up for more of this kind of action, somewhere down here, who knows where, to then, make another run up here. So again, I am super light. I've only got a couple of trades on, pretty light, a lot of cash, just kind of waiting and watching, which is exactly where I want to be going into, the long weekend and all that. So that is what I've got for you. Nothing too exciting. We just continue to see what we get tomorrow, if there's anything crazy. And then we start back, reset the clock and start back over next week, next year. So that's what I've got. If you've got trades on, evaluate all your trades, separately and as a portfolio, and see what your, where your exposure is, your strengths and weaknesses. And other than that, take it day by day. And I hope you and yours have a very happy new year, a safe, festive new year. Enjoy the long weekend, and we will see you guys next year. Thanks. Take care.